Hello all, Reggie Time here, and in this PLO video we're just going to be taking a look at the biggest hand I played in my session this morning, the biggest hands I played in my session this morning. I think it's going to be more condensed than, well, a lot more condensed than a live play video, hopefully less rambly and just more cutting to the chase, and hopefully more interesting for you guys to watch than just watching what quite often can be maybe just what we've got 8 hands to look at here, 8 hands in 45 minutes or 8 hands in maybe 20 minutes. So hopefully it's going to be a better watch, and we'll see how it goes. If you do like the video, please do hit that thumbs up. If you've got any comments on any of the hands, please do hit the comments and let me know what you think of my thought processes, my opponent's lines, my lines, whatever. Any comments on any of the hands, please let me know. So the first time we're going to be looking here on table 2. My opponent here limped the button. We had the King 10 Ace 7, and we elected to pop it up, I think, over his limp. Oh, no, I just completed, sorry. Which I think is a mistake. I must have been autopiloting there, because as soon as I saw the hand I thought, yep, I should be raising this. So that's a mistake from me. It was like pretty close to the start of the session. The tables were still getting fired up. Not making too many excuses though, it's a lack of concentration. Should absolutely 100% have been a raise versus a button limp. So that's definitely a mistake. I flop the join and lead out for close to pot. I probably should just have potted it. So yeah, that's the second mistake I made in the hand. My opponent raises. That is super easy to play from here. We obviously repot. He goes all in, we call, and I called expecting just to be chopping here with maybe having like a backdoor flush draw. I kind of thought at this point, yeah, we're going to be chopping, but I've got the backdoor flush draw, so I thought I'd have like a slight lead in the hand. Turns out he just limped, but aces on the button and flop top set. And sadly he run a runner, but whatever. We don't care about results. All we care about is how we played the hand, and I think I certainly played the hand not great pre-flop. That should definitely have been a raise, and it's not like I've chosen not to raise this hand, because I clearly would just have raised it. Well, not clearly, you guys don't know me, how I play the game, but in my head I know that should absolutely 100% have been a raise. And for whatever reason I didn't do it, pure lack of concentration, and then I should have potted the flop rather than 25 cent in it, but again, that's a really small thing. I'm not worried about that. I am worried about not limping pre. Sorry, about just completing pre. Even though if I did, I probably would have shut myself out of the hand, because he would have limp raised me and it would have got messy. But yeah, I should definitely have raised this pre, then post flop it's just whatever, just a cooler. No big deal. I should just say I'm watching these hands back for the first time, by the way. I'm not looking at anything. I'm kind of looking at these with a fresh pair of eyes. I haven't looked at them thinking how am I going to comment on this hand. This is all very much just me viewing them straight back raw, capturing my thoughts. Not going to defend myself and make a bad play, I'm just going to rip myself for it. We're looking at table 2 again here. This time we have the double suited King Ace Queen with pretty shitty dangle, but whatever. I think it's a very standard 3-bet from the blinds, which I duly did. I think it goes call, call, call. And yes, I remember now. We flop top pair, top kicker with no draw. We backdoor flush draw, but that's it. And in normally holding this would just be a C-bet, get it in. But it's the multi-way pot in pot limit Omaha. And I'll be honest, I didn't really know what to do. I thought betting here and getting it in. Didn't see how I could really get it in very good. The worst case scenario, but the best case scenario, get it in against like a big draw. Someone who's got like a good rundown hand that includes like the 9 or the 8, I don't know. Something like, I don't know, 7, 8, 10, I don't fuck knows. But some kind of like massive straight draw. Sets certainly can be in there. There's some fluky 2 pairs too. I just didn't think I could ever bet and like get called by worse very often. I'm going to bet and get jammed on a lot and just be getting it crushed. So just decided to check fold, and in no limit holder this would feel really weak tight, but I think in pot limit Omaha I just think it probably can't be terrible in a multi-way pot. Yeah, we've got backdoor diamonds going on, and we've got like runner straight, but yeah, I just felt like let's just check it. There's a bunch of action we can easily get away. It kind of felt a little bit weak when he checked the button and he just like 3/4 potted it. But I just thought folding was going to be the best option here. I did fold, and I think he took it down with the bet. Yep, he did. Moving on to table 1 now here with the aces. Do not remember this hand. See what happens. Obviously we're going to 3-bet. I do remember the opponent. He was a pretty bad player. He was playing most pots. Certainly not what I would consider to be in any way skilled regular. Someone who just looked like they didn't really know what they're doing. They were just having fun. And we got this flop again. It's a 3-bet pot. It's multi-way. We're kind of pot committed against this character here. And it's, yeah, there's some draws out there, but there shouldn't really be too many made hands. Lots of draws. If someone's like flop 2 pair or something, or they flop a set, well, good for them. I guess I'm just going to pay them off versus these 2 opponents. But there's not like a bunch of draws. I mean, yeah, of course there is straights and flush draws and things, but it's not, in my opinion, it doesn't look like the scariest of boards. I think we can bet and get it in here and be in front. You know, we're going to be behind when we do bet and get it in too, but I didn't see an option. Like in the last time when we had the ace king in the multi-way pot, it felt like check fold was the play. It didn't feel like it in this spot against these 2 opponents. So I did just lead out. I think I did anyway. I hope so. Pretty sure we did. Pretty sure I'm going to bet he's going to min raise. If I recall correctly. I did just like almost pot it. He min raised. At this point I was feeling a little bit like, well, probably fucked here, but we're just massively committed, man. There's no way we can fold. If he's got like 2 pairs or just some draws in his range, like a top pair with some draws and things, he's certainly bad enough to overplay a worse hand here. I just felt like I had to commit to my hand. Didn't feel great about it, but what are we going to do? Can't be in it. And we got it in, you know, against a pair and a draw, which isn't great because we're like a probably. I haven't like calculated this yet because it's like the first time I've seen it back. But even though we're technically ahead, I'm pretty sure that we're an underdog here. I wouldn't know what my equity is. I'm going to go back and look at it later today. But yeah, I would imagine I'm a significant underdog here. But it is what it is. And our opponent did hit it straight on the river and drag down the tasty pot. Fair play to him. Sucks to be me. But that's pot limit Omaha in a nutshell, I guess. Onto table 4 now. We have the, I think it's going to be this hand, the ace jack 9-3. And yeah, let's talk about pre-flop first. This might not even be the hand, I'm not sure. I think it probably is the hand though. It's whether I should 3-bet pre. I just don't think it's strong enough to 3-bet pre. If we had a slightly higher card, if that was a queen of hearts, then obviously it would be a slammed or a king of hearts, or even a 10 of hearts. It'd be a slam dunk 3-bet pre, but the 9-3 suit is pretty fucking useless. It doesn't really help very much with draws. So I elected just not to 3-bet this pre, and I think it's close. I think we could go either way, but I think just calling, I don't know. I really don't know. I guess that's why we're looking at the hand. But I think I'm going to stick with my decision. I think, yeah, just calling pre-flop was okay. A little bit weak, but don't think the hand's really strong enough to 3-bet. And then we just kind of flop a top pair. And we turned 2 pairs, and that didn't value bet again. I think I played this hand a little bit too weak all round, I think. I think we could maybe bet that turn. When we get 2 pairs, and the 2 of clubs changes nothing on the river. And I think I could bet again. I think I played this hand just too weak. I'm not sure that was the hand I was supposed to be looking at, but whatever. Yeah. Not sure why I wanted to review that one, but it was marked on my notepad. And yeah, I just played, I don't know. I think pre-flop, we could argue between checking and calling, calling and 3-betting. Post-flop, we could maybe value bet the turn and or the river. I thought we can bet 2 streets, but I think I should have bet one of them. I think it was a little bit too weak there. So now we're going to be looking up here at table 1 again with our double suited kings. Pair limps on the bottom, we pot it. And again, we get a pretty dry board. I'm not in love with just like over pairs in pot limit Omaha, far from it. If anything, I think I could be a little bit too weak with them. But we don't just have an over pair here. We have like a backdoor flush draw and we have a gut shot too, which I think is going to be enough like little bits and pieces of like equity to back up, to bolster my over pair, to just like bet and just get on like the variance train here and gamble. That's how I felt at the time anyway. I do believe I tanked it a little bit before I decided. I wasn't totally sure whether to go for like a bet or for a check raise. But I did eventually go for a bet. Our opponent raised, and I didn't like it. At this point, there's not a lot to like about this situation. But again, just like we saw in the other hand, people could just have like pair plus draw and things, and we're ahead of enough of someone's range, I think, to be able to get it in here against like a bad player's range. Against a regular, I think it would be a much dicier situation on this board texture. But against someone who's clearly not a regular, they're not reloading, etc., etc., they're playing quite passively pre-flop. I just think that we can be getting in okay shaping. Again, not loving it, far from loving it, but I think bet folding would be a mistake here. So I do believe I didn't bet fold. Called it off with a set, and we beat the turn, and we ran good there. Not much to say about it. We got it in far from great. We got it with what, 2 6 outs and then some backdoor outs, so we didn't get it in with great equity there. But if he has like 2 pair, if he just has top pair, again with like top pair with like a 7-5 like this fellow had earlier, then yeah, I think it's going to be fine. I may well have overplayed. I didn't like how I played a lot of this session. It ended up being a winning session, but I didn't like a lot of my play. It didn't come as easily as previous sessions have. And yeah, that's why we're looking at the hands and seeing how we did with them. But yeah, don't think I played this hand great, but I don't think I played it terribly either. Just because we got it in bad, it doesn't necessarily mean we played the hand badly. And I don't think I played this hand badly, but at the same time, I don't think I played it like with a stellar level of quality either. Back on table 3, we have the aces with the suit. We're going to squeeze, of course. And this player here with the Chinese-looking name was Asian-looking name, sorry. Was definitely a regular. He seemed to be playing okay. And we get a pretty fucking horrible flop from my hand in a multi-way pot, and again, it's just like another overpair where the flop hasn't really connected. And I don't remember how the hand finished, but I'm going to presume that I didn't win it. But I don't think there's like at any point I can bet, even though we've checked twice here now. So we've kind of told our opponent we don't have a flush. So we are very, very bluffable here. But I think sometimes you just got to be accept, right, I'm out of position, I'm in a shit spot, and I'm going to get bluffed some of the time. I mean, we could also be miles behind too. There's tons of ways we can be beat. We could be miles behind, but I'm going to get bluffed sometimes, and I think, especially in pot limit Omaha, in situations like this, you just have to allow yourself to be bluffed. In no limit hold'em here, we would just have bet the flop and then just not fold it, I presume. But in PLO, when there's way more possible ways we can be beat, I think just check folding here is absolutely fine. I don't have a big issue with it, but it's a hand that I marked to look at, so we're looking at it. And I believe I just folded here. And we move on. On table 4 here, sorry about not pausing the video properly there, and we're just moving on to, what, surprise, surprise, aces again. So we pot it. Our opponent 3 bets. He was another play. He's a regular, but he didn't play to me like he was a particularly good regular, but the session wasn't long enough for me to know that for sure. He didn't feel like he was as good a regular as the guy with the Chinese name. He wasn't reloading on some tables. We obviously 4-bet the aces. And it's kind of one of those flops where we're probably still way ahead, but if we're not way ahead, lots of times we're going to be way. If he has a 10, we're just going to have to fucking lose here. That's kind of how we're looking at it. We've got a pot size bet left. If he's got a 10, he's got a 10. He's just going to take all my chips. I'm not going to check something this, and I'm just going to like lead out for full pot, and we can still get called by like pocket kings, pocket queens. Sometimes especially against bad players, some diamond draws you can just call. So there's plenty of ways we can get called by worse. I just think it's a standard jam, even though it's not a great spot. I still think anything other than jamming or potting it, jamming, whatever, would be the wrong play. And we held versus his queen high flush draw. So yeah, that one went down just fine for us too. On to the last hand now. On table 2 we have jacks and deuces. We just call and we flop a set on a very coordinated board. Check. And this was like a tricky spot for me. I wasn't sure what to do during this time. Do we just check raise now and get it in? We've got like bottom set and a weak flush draw. Well, not a weak flush draw, second not flush draw, but still. Or do we just call, see a turn? I kind of thought if we check raise and get it in here, we're going to be up against sets of kings and queens a lot. We're going to be up against people can have ace 10, 10, 9, massive big flush draws and pairs and things. Excuse me, but at the same time, what sort of flop were we expecting? This is like one of the better flops we can get, and I kind of didn't like my hand, but thought, how can I not go with this? I've got bottom set and I've got second nut flush draw. I just got to go with it, even though when I do check raise and get it in, I'm going to expect, to be ahead sometimes, but against big draws, and sometimes just be behind and in big trouble. But again, I don't think we can get away from this. I think it's just a cooler. I think calling's a bad option, so we just raising seemed like the only option. The folding was horrendous, of course. Calling seemed terrible on that board texture. So it felt like raising, getting it in, and just hoping to win the money. I mean, I'd have been happy just to take 2 folds here, to be completely honest. Which again might be bonkersly nitty. But I'd have been happy to set the 2 folds. When my opponent jams, I think, oops, we're in trouble here. And we were up against the flop nuts, but we got there. So happy days again. PLO in a nutshell. So yeah, to sum up the session, I made money on the session. Probably more to do with the product of running well and finding some bad players to play against. But that's kind of how my PLO adventure's been so far. I've had lots of bad players to play against, and I've run pretty well. And I've like won 20 buy-ins in, I don't know how many hands, but it can't be more than just a few thousand hands. My win rate at the moment will be insane, but I'm running insanely well too. I think I'm playing okay. I'm certainly playing better than most of my opponents, I think. Running well, which is a great combination, and hopefully improving all the time. So if you've got any feedback on any of the hands that you've seen, please do give it to me. I'd be delighted to hear it, particularly if you are a decent winning pot limit Omaha player. But also, if you're apologies for the phone ringing. Also, if you're a no limit hold'em player like me making the transition. We'll leave it there and say bye for now.